Hey YouTube, good morning to you. It's early in the morning. The sun just came up the day after the second presidential debate here in 2016. And so, as I gather my thoughts here, I did take a few notes, but I stopped after a few minutes into the debate. I listened to it on the radio, and I haven't had a chance to watch it on the video format, and I'm not sure if I will. It's just once again, as we talked about in the previous types of commentaries about this, the debates and with these candidates that we have, they're just not good for America. And Hillary continues to lie. She's very slick and she's just very pathetic. Uh, in terms of Trump, I think he did a little better this time. I think he really did. And commentaries they have already been out, talked about, just how he was a little more disciplined and stuff like that. I say so too, but, I'm not so worried about all these semantics. So what about the real issues? What about the core issues that are going to affect us, the citizens? And so what I can tell you, though, is that on my particular channel, which was connected to I think it was ABC, I believe it was, commentary was for like the first hour before, of course, the debate. They had like a pre-debate commentary. Excuse me. Basically, it was just about 10 comments against Trump. Um, and for every one that questioned Hillary. In fact, it was just amazing how biased the media was. I mean, it's so blatant, in your face, that how much they protect Hillary. It's a pretty mind-boggling. I mean, it's like you don't even have to look for it. It's like it comes to you in terms of just being so obvious. Now, also during the debate, it's amazing how much more time Hillary got and how the moderators just wouldn't even interrupt her when she went way over her time. And sometimes they didn't even want Trump to respond, or they would cut him off in his response when he had time left. And yeah, I do believe full-heartedly that there's a pretty sinister agenda against Trump. Now, is Trump an angel? No, of course he's not. He's just like anybody else that's in politics for the most part. He may have a good heart. That it's just we're not seeing the fullness of it. I don't believe that everything he's doing or saying is the best interest of the government and the people of the United States. I sure think it's a way better, at least in talk. It's a lot better in philosophy as well than what Hillary's presenting. But I go back to what I said before. The country is in crisis. We have candidates that are just unbelievable. I mean, if you were to listen to the pre-debate, you would have thought that Trump did something horrific, and that they were saying that he should drop out, and that all of his Republican supporters are leaving him and in droves, and all this stuff. There's all these things going on against Trump, how bad Trump is and everything, when Hillary has a full history, I mean, a much more complete history of criminal behavior and unlawfulness. And they don't even go there. They just, oh, that's old news. Don't worry about it. We've already talked about it. Really? Really? Yeah, I mean, I guess the way that it looks on the media, they act like that Hillary already has won. So you can take that as a premonition that they know something that we don't, because this is all a setup, or it's just a way to con the American people through the media to try to convince Americans just to give up on Trump and go with Hillary. I do agree with what Trump said, that there should be a special prosecutor assigned to Hillary's cases to examine, her criminal activity and prosecute her. That would be so awesome. Now, if that happened and he got in and that he prosecuted her, wow, my thoughts on Trump would go much higher. I would respect him a lot more than I do now. And so that's the I guess what you could call my thoughts on some of this. I kind of don't not sure if I want to even get into the issues. You can watch or listen to the debate and find out what they said. It's the same old hat trick, back and forth, banter. Um, I learned nothing really from each one that I didn't already know. And, you know, it's a sad thing in America that it's a little colder here. I'm sorry if you hear me shivering a little bit, it's a little colder than I thought it was. Good Lord, temperature is really dropping. But if you're into politics at all, you already know what the candidates stand for. You already know the issues. You already know which one you lean toward. And on the media and the pre-debate and the post-debate act like, oh, there's all these people, especially women. So all these women that are undecided. Really? I mean, isn't that a put down? As if like women can't decide who they want to vote for, and all these people are on the fence, and that Trump's did this and that, and he's not helping his cause and everything. I just think that's malarkey. It's ridiculous. If you don't know who you're going to vote for now, you never will. I mean, you got to be brain dead. And so, or at least you don't know what you believe in, or what is important to you. I just don't know if I'm going to vote. I know that in where I live, it's very, very Republican. It's one of the most Republican probably states in the union. And so, regardless if I vote or not, it's going to, there's like a 90+% chance, obviously, that, Trump's going to be the winner. So with that being said, I just don't know if it's even worth my time to go to the voting poll or go to the booth. I mean, I always vote. I'm pretty much every time that I have an opportunity since I was, 18, I have gone to the polls and voted when I could. That was, practical and reasonable, which was pretty much every time I could. And this year, though, I'm really on the fence. Like, I'm like 50-50 still. Even though I said before I'd probably end up going anyways, I just don't really have any motivation to vote for people that I don't want in. But you know what? I mean, when have we as the people actually had a candidate that we actually wanted? Why is it that we're always settling for people? What a freaking mess this place is. I mean, the country is really in a crisis. Not to overuse that word, but I mean, we're just effed up. We have some major problems here. Major problems. And so I've trying to, in my mind, trying to figure out if Hillary gets in, which it looks like, well, according to the media, she's going to get in. But if she does actually get in, we'll see in like less than a month now. That's why we need to prep. If she really gets in, I'm going to have to kind of reorganize how I do things because that's a threat. She would be a threat to my liberties and freedoms. So, I think I'd have to possibly do a few things differently, and maybe this channel would have to change to a different degree. And maybe I would do less of the channel, just because I'd be focused on other things and for my own personal well-being. So these are some things that I've been thinking about. So, I mean, if she gets in, it's going to be a disaster of epic proportion. She clearly doesn't understand logic and how things work, or at least how to get things for the American people. She doesn't represent us at all. She has her own special interest, as we all clearly know by now. So these are my takes on this. If you want real details and stuff, just watch the debate yourself or listen to it on the, a podcast, or I listened to it on the radio. I guess there's different ways that you could, listen to that, as a recording. I don't really know. I just listened to it live last night. So, anyways, if you don't want to listen to it, I understand too. I actually about halfway through it was, just listening to it on the radio, was getting tired of listening to it. I was getting pretty much done. And, the moderators are very, ultra liberal, left wing, mainstream media, just hacks. It's like, you just want to choke them, a bunch of idiots, globalist idiots. And they're really annoying too. How they interrupt, how disrespectful they are. Their voices are just like fingernails on a chalkboard. They're just disgusting people. I very much dislike the moderators this time. And so, anyways, you guys take care.